Hey guys, how's it going? It's the Crypto Analyst here, and I hope all of you guys are having a good morning, evening, wherever you guys are from. Welcome to the Crypto Analyst live stream where we go everything cryptocurrency related, talk about what's happening in cryptocurrency right now, and then do some live technical analysis, and of course take your guys' requests, the viewers, and talk about what you guys want to talk about, do some technical analysis on what you guys want to look at and are interested in, and then I go over it on the stream and I give my personal opinion. So let's go ahead and get this started because Bitcoin is moving a little bit at the moment, and it's actually setting up itself really in a unique pattern. So to break this down a little bit further, I did talk about this a little bit in today's video and in today's Patreon post, but it definitely is starting to move a little bit again. And so with this new 4-hour candle literally just starting a couple of minutes ago, it's going to be perfect time to kind of get this live stream kicked off. So without further ado, I'm going to do what I do in all the live streams is I'm going to make sure that this is all set up and that the proper alerts got sent out, and we'll go from there. So this should be pretty much set up. Okay, cool. So it was telling me I didn't have anyone in here, but apparently it is working. Alright, so cool. I guess I was wrong. Okay. Sent link number 1 out. And link number 2. Perfect. Now we're ready to get this thing on the road, and we should be good. Slice Keeper, what's up? Ryan Holmes, what's up? Great to have you guys in here. So if you guys haven't watched today's video, basically it was about me talking about really what was going to happen in Bitcoin, and really my I don't know what the word would be, kind of not, it was more so of a prediction, but it's kind of like a calculated prediction. So it was really just theorizing what I believe is going to happen in the Bitcoin market, and really in all of cryptocurrency right now. And the big question is, can we get up and even potentially break 6K? And that's really the big answer that I guess people want to know. Can we break the 6K area, or are we ultimately going to see rejection from it? Because if so, some people have the mentality, I'll layer shorts up to 6K, and if they think that they're going to break it, obviously people are trying to get the best area of value possible on their longs. And so with me personally, I think my opinion is very, I've already stated my opinion a lot on this channel, and that is that I don't think that we're going to break the 6K resistance, and I'm going to go ahead and show that now. And the reason for that being is because, again, guys, it is such a heavy resistance. It's the hardest resistance that we're going to have to break. And if you go ahead and you look at this like it's one giant descending triangle, then you can go ahead and say, all right, well, this is obviously the largest support of 2018 was this 6K level. 5.9K to 6K. This was, the relative strongest level of support over the entirety of the 2018 bear market. And with this happening, now that we've broken down through that support, it will now be probably our strongest resistance. It was our strongest support, and it will now be our strongest resistance. And with this happening, again, I can't believe that if we touch this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times, that we're going to break it on the way up in one try. Because if we use it as support 7 different times over the course of an entire year, 12 months, then I think it's just a little bit arrogant of me and a little bit too much of a moon boy for me to say that we're going to break this 7-time resistance over the course of 12 months, that we're going to break it in one try on our first try. I just think that that's, while it's possible, I just don't think it's probable. So my, again, my view here is that we go back to this bear flag. This is very clearly a bull pull bear flag combo, which is a little bit strange, but nonetheless, it is still a rising channel. I mean, you can see that very well here. You have 1, 2 touch points on top, and then you have multiple touch points on bottom. So with this playing out, I think that this actually can, if you look over here, this really can lead us back up close to the resistance area that this is. And so I think that hopefully, in a perfect world, what I'm theorizing is that what we'll see is a climb in the price action of BTC. I really wanted to break out of this. It's trying again, excuse me, seeing a little bit of a rejection from this area. You can already see the wick it wicked up real fast, trying to break through this area. If it can break through this area, that would be ideal. I really actually want it to break out here and actually go upwards, because I think it would make all the more for a great shorting opportunity. And so the reason that it could actually break out of this is because this is not a confirmed rising wedge. Now, while it does certainly look very good, it's still not confirmed. We need to draw that up just a little bit better. But basically, the reason that it's not confirmed is because you only have 1 and 2 touch points here. The third one bounced right off the 50 EMA, which doesn't count as support, or at least not in the support of the rising wedge. And so the way that this works is that since it only has 2 touch points on support, it cannot be an official rising wedge yet. So if we go ahead and rewind this, you need at least 3 touch points to make this an official rising wedge. And man, we are testing this thing, and if it breaks out here, it would, probably move close to $100 towards the upside without really seeing any resistance. So if it could be able to do that, which it looks like it might be doing, this thing should start moving pretty fast. I love breakouts on stream. So moving back to, I guess we can keep this on the 4-hour and I can go through some of the questions. Slice Keeper, welcome. Brian, welcome. Jason S, welcome. Yurdi's, welcome. He says, bull trap? No, just long as a bull. Starts in a few months. We'll all be okay. So yeah, let me emphasize this one point, because a lot of people were getting upset with me when I said the fact that I was bearish again. Because up until this point over here, up until we actually retested the top of this area and forming in a bear flag, I was actually very, very bullish. And I still am overall bullish, but however, I think what would be perfect, in a perfect world for me is to see something like this happen, and then probably retest the 200 EMA in here, or if not, retest one of these support lines that's lower. And so you can see these support lines very well on this chart over here. This one just being, the bottom, so ignore the very bottom one. But you really do have 2 main support lines, being the dark blue and the light blue leading up over here. And of course the 4200 being a flat level of horizontal support from consolidation and previous tops. So with this happening, I would like to see it actually fall back and hit one of the 4 support lines, and the 4 support lines are going to be, for me, and this is actually something I forgot to mention on the Patreon post today. I mentioned a couple of these, but if you're a Patreon, I'll go ahead and add this, after the stream. But what I was mean by these 4 areas of support is, one being the 200 EMA, one being this dark blue rising form of support, the third one being this flat level of support at 4,200, and the fourth one being this, overall from the lowest swing lows on Bitcoin, that being your 4th support. So really with those 4 levels of support, I would love to see this guy come back down over here, because let me make this clear, guys, as much as we all want the price of cryptocurrency to go up, you do not want it to do what it did over here in 2018. You do not want it to do this. Trust me, it is very unhealthy for the market. Just as fast as it goes up, it can come right back down. The reason for that being is because when it goes up this fast, it doesn't set any support for itself, and when it doesn't set any support for itself and starts seeing some good selling pressure, this thing falls right through the floor. Because what I call this is that it's made of twig and thatches, because you literally have like single candles that are like thousands of dollars long. Like this one candle right here is $3,000, and that's not what you want to see, because between 2 candles you go from 11K to, what is this, between literally 2 daily candles you went from 11K to 19K. 2 candles, 2 days, $8,000. And of course this thing fell absolutely through the roof because there's just no support over here. So the reason that we don't want to go parabolic back up, and that we want to do this in layers, is that we don't have the same problem happen. So ideally, that's why. It's not because I'm a bear and I just want it to keep going down. It's because I want this to be done properly so that Bitcoin can be sustainable at the price that it will reach eventually, because I do think it's going to reach new highs eventually. And so with this happening, again, my ideal belief is that hopefully it does actually reach the top of this bear flag again. I want it to. I want it to reach up here and then come back and then touch one of the 4 support areas and then head back upwards. And then, hopefully be able to retest, if not break, the 6K range and maybe make some sort of another ascending triangle on Bitcoin before it wants to reach any higher. So that's really the goals that I have on Bitcoin right now. Yurdi said it needs to hit 4,500 again to launch. Where's 4,500? So oddly enough, the 4,500 range is right in between the 200 EMA and the second support line that we have over here. So if it were to hit that, I would imagine it would be close to one of these two areas. So if it were to come back down in the $4,500 area, it would actually be it would probably either touch the 200 EMA or the second support line. And if it weren't to touch, basically that's what you're saying. And that's, so Yurdes, what you're saying is essentially the same thing that I'm saying, is that it needs to come back and touch some support before it rallies again. Because if it just keeps going parabolic up, it's not good for any of us. I mean, maybe in the short term if you sell the top, but like for the long term, a lot of us are holding crypto for the long term, right? And if it's just going to go parabolic up and then fall like $5,000 in a week again, like none of us want to see that. What we want to see is a sustainable long-term growth in the trend of cryptocurrency, not like the parabolic, as great as parabolic is, right? It's good for a quick buck, but it's not good for the long term. Poker Throat, what's up, my dude? You the man. And so with this being said, I want to go ahead and talk about the indicators and oscillators, because something that we were talking about in Discord earlier is that there hasn't really been any easy trades in a long time. And the reason for that being is that the indicators and oscillators have just been like screwed up. Not like in the sense that they're like broken right now, but more so in the sense as they just haven't given us easy readings like they used to. And so I'll go ahead and show you what I used to, because this is something I was just going over in my technical analysis course. So on the 4-hour chart, you basically look for lower swing highs and higher swing lows. And so when you get divergence like this, like I literally have it drawn out absolutely everywhere, all over my chart. It's literally the easiest trades, in my opinion, ones that have like almost never failed me. Not to say that they've never failed me, but they've almost never failed me. And so you can see these everywhere, like divergence, divergence, divergence. And then every time you get the divergence, like it just freaking goes, like whether you're long or short, like the longs are all on the bottom, the shorts are all on top, like it's literally just divergence everywhere, and it's all so easy to see. Like the more I just like sit here and eyeball, I can just see it everywhere, just like free double bearish divergence, free double bullish divergence. And for me, they were all just like free trades. And so I guess these are all the ones I have marked. But like in the short little time span of August to here, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like potentially even more than that, 11. Like I don't even have all these drawn up. Like those are all easy trades. I would say the last really easy trade that we got was over here on March 25th. And for me, that was a a nice easy long from. I don't think I actually took this one, to be honest. I can't remember. But from March 26th, this thing went, let's go ahead and look at the price. March 26th, oh yeah, this was the hard signal. So this is essentially saying, so there was the double bullish divergence. Over here, March 26th, this is exactly what happened, is that it hit the higher low on the 4-hour RSI, showing lower levels of negative momentum and higher levels of positive momentum coming in the bulls from a separate swing low attempt. With the bulls being stronger and the bears being weaker, this thing started heading back up very fast, and even holding this for any amount of time. I mean, if you would have held anywhere in here, you would have been set, because this was a very fast 4-hour candle up. I was actually live streaming when this was happening, and it went absolutely parabolic. So I remember I actually didn't take this trade because I thought it to be a little risky. But I guess it bounced right off the 200 EMA, bounced right off support, and showed. And now that I look back on that, I probably should have longed that, because it bounced off the 200 EMA, it bounced off support, your support line, and it also showed double bullish divergence on your 4-hour RSI. So I guess that was silly of me not to long that. Also have a double bottom on your MACD. But on the MACD and the RSI for the moment being, I guess that's all kind of useless now that I've talked about easy trades. Now this is really just sitting neutral, and so people are looking for a potential lower swing high on the RSI right now, as and I'm also looking at some sort of divergence on the MACD. However, the MACD has been absolutely useless lately because it just hasn't been painting anything over here. It's just been sitting in the negative, sitting in the bearish zone for so long, and not giving us any kind of real good information. The oscillators aren't doing that either. And so the MACD is really useless for the time being. It's pretty neutral. It's showing a higher high. There's no divergence whatsoever on the MACD, and the RSI is too neutral to have any kind of divergence. So if this thing gets back into the overbought range again and sets a lower high over there, you might have something worthwhile. But for the time being, there's really nothing that I like to trade in here besides the fact of just having support and resistance lines. And so with us actually wicking up there all the way to $5,281, it'll be interesting to see if that's just going to end up being a wick. And we might have to readjust this rising wedge just a little bit, but it'll be interesting to see if that's just a wick or if it's going to end up actually breaking through and following through. Because it is seeing some resistance for the time being. King BTC, what's up? He said hello. Moving this on to, I guess we can talk about Ethereum. Actually, let's talk about XRP first, and then we'll get into Ethereum. I want to start doing live streams also more often. My school year is pretty much wrapped up now. If you guys don't know, I'm actually in college at a university. Dang it, yeah. XRP is looking for a death cross. This thing went all the way back down to 31 cents. Wow. It hit my target perfectly, though. So in Patreon, one of the things that I said is that my XRP target was 35 cents. It hit that range pretty well right in here. And then my second target was actually 37 cents. And I was talking to someone, I cannot remember who it was. It might have been Singar. And I was talking to him about how, because we were talking about XRP, and I said, yeah, my profit taking target is 35, then 75, and it got up to 75, or not 75, 37, and actually came back up here a couple of times, hit the target multiple times, 1, 2, 3, 4, like at least 4 times, 1, 2, 3, yeah, like 4 separate times, and then fell right back down. So now what I'm a little bit worried about is that this is like this. So this is on the 4 hour, so it's not as important, but I would still kind of take note of it. Is that it's below its EMAs right now, and you can see that it's using it as resistance in this area for XRP. And with this heading downwards right now, you're about to see the 50 EMA cross over the 200 EMA, which would be technically a death cross on your 4 hour chart, which is not what you want to see. And so I would imagine if that, if this death cross happens, holds, and respects itself, I would imagine that it comes back to this very heavy support line down here. And this is actually something that I'm looking for. And so that if it actually wants to bounce off of this line, I might actually have a buy order waiting on XRP here. So, I didn't realize how close it was. So you can see that this is a very, very good support line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different touches over here. We can just let's copy and paste some more arrows. So right over here, you have 5 different touches on this XRP support line. Absolutely beautiful. 5 separate different touches, not individual touches. And so if it gets back into this area, probably around 30.5 cents. So 30.5 is what it looks like it would be close to. If it gets back into that area, it actually might be worth a swing trade for me, because I would see it probably bouncing off this area, at least moving a couple cents, and then maybe making like a quick 10% off a swing, or maybe even just layer buys there, because I'll hold XRP for long term. Hello everyone, are we at 5,400? Edward Park, good evening, great to have you. Miguel, great to have you. Are we at 5,400 yet? I don't believe so. We're at 5,200 though, so we're pushing. We already hit 5,500 on Bitcoin. So with XRP right now, is showing really no divergence either. Okay, so here was actually a really good signal. So this to me was, yeah. So that to me was again an easy long. I just haven't been looking at XRP recently. I didn't even know it was so low. Because it already hit my target, so I kind of just not been paying attention to it. So over here, 1, 2, 3 higher swing lows on XRP. Bounced right off of this area, bounced right off of the 30 area, the oversold area on the XRP RSI, very, very well. Triple bullish divergence and pretty steep bounce from XRP, going all the way from 31.2 cents to where it's currently at 32.9 cents. So that would have been a beautiful swing. How much is XRP up today, actually? Yeah, so XRP is up 4%. Tron is up, wow. Oh, no, that's Monero, never mind. Monero's up 8. Tezos is up almost 9. Ethereum's up 4. Bitcoin's up 4. Nice. So let's see. Something actually I want to look at is the Bitcoin daily real fast, because I think we're working our way towards a golden cross, and we actually are. So, that throws a wrench right in the bucket. XTZ fanboy here. I've honestly not really looked into Tezos too much, man, but it's been doing great recently. What's up, AD? Great to have you. Man, that makes things difficult. All right, so originally, guys, if you guys are just tuning in, welcome. I've been talking about really the potential speculation that I have right now on Bitcoin being potentially bearish because of the fact that it's in a giant rising channel, and how I would love it to actually come up to resistance here and then see rejection and come back into one of my support zones down here before rallying towards the upside even harder. However, I'll tell you what, if we're getting really close to this. So one of two things can happen here. One, and this is what I'm looking at for those of you guys who don't know. I'm looking right here at the EMAs. The 200 and the 50 EMA, when this crosses on a daily time frame towards the upside golden cross, it's not something to take lightly of, because this has only happened a couple times in the history of Bitcoin. Traded out of Ethereum in the XTZ in January. Tezos on-chain governance. DPS. Oh, nice. I traded out of Ethereum for Pundi and EOS, I think. So, I'm kind of with you. Okay, so let's talk about this. You're doing good then? Yeah. I'm actually glad I got out. What was I saying? So originally, with the golden cross happening on Bitcoin, this has only happened a very few times. And so we're actually going to need to go to Bitstamp to look at this. But this is probably going to be one of the most useful things that you guys are going to get out of tonight's live stream. I just did a whole episode. But guys, the technical analysis course is almost done. It's so close. I'm really just waiting on the lawyers at this point so I can copyright it and actually throw it up. So let's go ahead and talk about this. So with this actually happening, we're very close to it over here. You can see that very clearly. And with how close we are to this golden cross. Now this was a death cross over here. When this death cross happened on Bitcoin, it pretty much sealed the fate of the bear market. Yes, you did have a little bit of a fake out right here, but for the most part, as soon as this guy happened, you saw, you know, this massive downtrend in Bitcoin, and it's pretty much stayed underneath the 200 EMA the whole time. So the fact that we're holding above the 200 EMA here is very bullish. But if we go back to the history of Bitcoin, this is a very rare occurrence. The last time that we're looking at this is that we're going all the way back to October 29th, 2015, you had a golden cross on Bitcoin on the one-day chart. That is, you know, 3.5 years ago, guys. This is 2015. We're in 2019 now. So when this happened on Bitcoin in 2019, or in 2015, in October of 2015, this thing stayed on an uptrend for almost 3 years, for about 2 years. And it just kept going and going. Like, this thing, again, the power of the golden cross on the daily chart. However, something important to know, before it actually crossed and had the golden cross, there was a fake out. So the real question is now, do we have this fake out? Are we in this zone right now, right? Are we in this zone? So that's what people are trying to contemplate. You know, are we in essentially like this final step? But what happens in this final step is that we actually see a fake out. The price comes it flash crashes real hard, real fast one last time, and then starts the real golden cross afterwards. And so this is the hard area of why I'm kind of dabbling in between being bullish and bearish right now, is because I think it's very possible that we're in this zone right here. Well, I guess that's not, that we're in this zone. I think everyone, might be too bullish, and that you still kind of have to remember that this is exactly what happened last time around. But it's very well that we could just be over here in this zone. We could just be getting ready for the golden cross, and we could just be getting ready for the market reversal. So this is what happened last time in 2015, because if you guys look at this, I mean, look at how similar this whole freaking thing is. Like, you would never know. So the area is are we in this zone or are we in this zone? That's essentially the whole question that analysts are having to ask themselves right now in Bitcoin, which is what makes it so hard, because there's no easy trade out of this zone. It's either saying this thing is going to dump hard then pump hard, or this thing is going to pump hard with no dump. And so no matter really what side of the situation you're on right now, it's a brutal direction that it's going to take if it does any kind of historical analysis, which Bitcoin follows history pretty well. So if you look over here to the past times on the Bitcoin death cross and golden cross, over here you had a death cross, this thing dumped pretty hard, had a golden cross over here, went from $430 all the way up to $700, literally more than doubled in price. Last time it had a golden cross over here, another death cross. And I can't remember the last time I went further back than this. It's been a while. But other than that, like, there's really not been any other golden cross and death cross. Like, those are the only ones in the history of Bitcoin. There have only been a couple of them. So take what you will with that, but I think it's pretty significant that we're actually going to do this. And tomorrow's video is actually probably going to be a pretty bullish one, because this Sol thing is just such a heavy hitter. And when this comes into Bitcoin, you don't want to take it lightly. I'm not taking this lightly. That's the reason why I'm so hesitant to enter into shorts up here. We're on the wrong chart. BTC USD. That's why I'm so hesitant to enter into shorts up here. Is because, we could be in one of two areas. The closer this golden cross gets, all of a sudden you guys are gonna know, because if this thing looks like it's almost set to happen here. Yes, it could just fake out, but if this golden cross goes through, you're literally gonna see like a freaking rocket. Like you guys thought this was good. Let me show you guys this. You guys think that this is a big deal, right? When we shot up over here, I was excited. Everyone was excited. Let me tell you something. If this golden cross happens, this isn't going to be like much at all. If this golden cross happens, this thing's going to be in a whole new freaking uptrend. Like, first off, as soon as this golden cross happens, it's probably going to be doing whatever it's doing. And if the golden cross actually happens, it's going to be like whoosh. And you're going to be like, holy crap. And if it doesn't happen, honestly, the opposite's going to happen. Like, this thing's going to be like, whoop, right off the cliff. And you're going to be like, oh, God. So that's the reason why I'm being so careful, because there's no reason. I don't know about you guys, but I have accumulated a lot of cryptocurrency over the course of this year. Really. Like, my account is up several 100% this year. And there's no reason for me to risk so much and give it all back, because I'm in this for the long haul, and so I'm really trying to preserve as much cryptocurrency as I can. And so if this is going to go parabolic in one of two directions, it would be amazing to ride it, but I'm also very hesitant because I want to have a good idea of which way it's going. Because if you get caught on the wrong end of the stick, you're not going to be able to exit. Excuse me, you're not going to be able to exit leverage trades, because the servers are going to be overloaded, and you're probably going to get liquidated if you're in anything below if you're in anything above 5x, which most of us probably are or would be. So let's go ahead and move on to Ethereum. Wrong chart. So yeah, Ethereum looks like it's pushing for the same deal over here. It looks like it's pushing for a golden cross. Look at the support line on Ethereum. And so if Ethereum actually was over here, look at this beautiful support line. So what I would love to have happen on Ethereum is to come down and touch either the 50 EMA, previous 1 support, previous 2 support. You're seeing rejection from the 200 EMA. I don't know what I'm clicking. You're seeing rejection up here from the 200 EMA, and if it came back down to a support level, I'd probably be okay with longing Ethereum. But it's this big battle right now because you have people arguing that it's going to go in both directions. So on the daily chart, though, on Ethereum, you are looking at really nothing and really nothing. No kind of heavy divergence anywhere. Okay, so bearish divergence on your 4 hour. But besides that, like, there's nothing really. Trying to think. Something someone told me to do on Bitcoin earlier is to make it as a giant ascending broadening wedge. So I guess I can go ahead and try to do that. I don't know how exactly they would want me to draw that, though. Maybe something like this. This is what someone was telling me in one of my YouTube videos today. Is to draw it more so like this. Either way, you know, whether it's an ascending channel or an ascending broadening channel, they're both bearish formations. Well, I don't think it matters too much for the time being. Do altcoins follow the golden cross? Doesn't do a fake out. Do altcoins follow if this golden cross doesn't do a fake out? Slice Keeper, my answer would be yes. I believe they would. So if the golden cross happens, I believe the whole market's following. I think Bitcoin will lead the charge, but I think the altcoins are going to go right with it. So if this ends up breaking, and you see a golden cross, like, it's not going to be like, is it a golden cross? Is it not a golden cross? Like, maybe if it's a fake out, but if it is a golden cross, like, you're going to know. Like, you're going to look at the chart and you're going to be like, oh, Bitcoin's up 20% today, or like, oh, Bitcoin's up 10% today. You're going to be like, the golden cross probably happened. And so the idea with golden crosses is that if you think that they're going to happen, you usually want to get in before they happen. The reason I say that is because, one, you can keep a stop loss. You know, probably a pretty good stop loss because there's usually a lot of hype around them. But if we look at Bitcoin on the 3-day, one of the best shorts I ever had was this guy over here. This massive candle. And the reason that I was able to kind of tell that this was coming is, one, there was a giant descending triangle on Bitcoin. And two, I'm on the 3-day chart now. There is a death cross on the 3-day chart. That is extremely rare. I don't even know. I think it's only happened once in the history of crypto. Or it's only happened once on Coinbase. On Bitstamp, let's go check back a little bit farther. Yeah, so this has only happened, I believe, once in the history of crypto. And that was here. And last time it happened, it dumped very hard. You know, Bitcoin lost half its value last time it happened. And so when I saw a death cross on the 3-day up here, I knew it was nothing to take lightly because Bitcoin dumped really hard on the 1-day. So I knew it would be, you know, arguably 3 times as hard if it were to dump on the 3-day because it's just 3 times bigger than the 1-day chart. And so when I saw a potential death cross coming over here in the price action of Bitcoin, I was preparing my shorts. Also, you know, there's very bearish divergence everywhere. But when I saw that this 3-day death cross was coming, I was talking about how bearish I was. A lot of people made fun of it. you know, at the end of the day, you know, you do what you do. You're here to trade and make money, and that's what I was here for. And so I shorted this. It played out, you know, obviously very well. And the reason, you know, the main reason for me holding that was because of the death cross, also the descending triangle and some other divergence. But seeing the 3-day death cross here really was like my confirmation, being like, all right, I need to be in a short in this area. So, I mean, Bitcoin's on its way right now, honestly. I was talking to a lot of people that I really look up to today, and they were talking about how Bitcoin's going back down to 2,000. And I didn't say anything because it's not my place to tell them that they're wrong. Again, they're like mentors to me. They're really, really smart people who've been doing this. They're older than, you know, they're 40 probably at least. They're a lot older. They've been doing this for a long time. So my deal is to just soak up as much knowledge as I can from them, not to be like the smart aleck student, but I just don't know how much I believe that this is actually going back down to $2,000. I think that we could easily bounce off 4,000 or 3,000, but like I don't know if we're gonna form. It's very possible. It's very possible that we do go back down and form a new low. But with this all looking the way that it is, it just kind of doesn't seem that way. The only way that I see that we go down to a new low being like $2,000 or $1,200 is that if you do have a fake out from the golden cross, if the golden cross does fake out, I think that's really the only way that Bitcoin can get back down to a new low. But even then, like betting on a fake out is, I feel like that's just like obscure. Like, you guys know what I'm saying? Betting on a fake out of a golden cross is just such an obscure thing to be betting on. And how many people bet on a fake out? Like I come out with like a lot of theories on this channel about what Bitcoin's going to do. You know, some right, some wrong. But you know, and that's the thing is like, do I really want to be shorting and banking my short pretty much because of a fake out of a death cross? And the answer for that is probably no. Like, in theory, probably not. Like, I wouldn't really want to do that. Mike C says, what are my top 3 coins? Bitcoin, Pundi, X, and dang it, dude, that's a hard question. I own my fair share of cryptocurrencies. I would say my top 3 coins are Bitcoin, Pundi X, and XRP probably. There's a lot of other projects I like, but if I had to only own 3, it would probably be, man, I hate saying that because there's so many other ones I would want to own. Bitcoin will drop to about 4,650, then it will be headed. And so Barry, what we were talking about is how that would actually make a lot of sense, because if you go, that would put us right at the 200 EMA on the 1-day chart, and that would put us right at support. We were just talking about this. I don't know who it was. Me and Yurdes were talking about this earlier, because that brings us right down to support the 200 EMA on the 1-day chart, but also it brings us right to the 200 EMA on the 4-hour chart. So if we fell to that region, it would be a perfect bounces off of support, and then that's what I'm kind of banking off of. So my idea here is that we actually go up and then we come back down, bounce off this area or one of these support areas down here, and then we head back upwards. And so that's my theory right now. But with this golden cross happening, you know, I am very hesitant about shorting Bitcoin, because if this golden cross is going to come to fruition, trust me, you don't want to be in a short when a golden cross goes off on a daily time frame. Bitcoin will drop to about that, then we'll be heading up. Even if it is a golden cross, it still drops a bit after it anyway. Just look at the look at the last gold. Yeah, so that's what we were actually doing, looking at the last golden cross over here on, where are we? So I mean, here's the last. Oh no, this is on the 4-hour chart. Duh. Where are we at? Haha, here it is. So here's the last golden cross. It was from October of 2015. After it happened over here, you saw that as soon as the golden cross, and there's only been, I think, 2 golden crosses in the history of Bitcoin, and so here's the last golden cross, and again, trust me when I say you don't you don't want to be on the wrong end of a golden cross. However, if you go back over here, there was a very clear fake out of a golden cross over here in this zone. So what you can see over here is that this was a hardcore fake out. Looked like it was going to golden cross, didn't cross this 200 EMA, faked out and came right back downwards. And so this is where it gets hard, because what I was just showing them is, or what I was just showing everyone, I think before you tuned in, is that in the previous bear market, it came up, it had a golden cross fake out, came very fast back down. It basically wicked. Oh, let's just go ahead and show it again. It's just too hard to explain. Basically, what I was showing them was this. This is the previous bear market. I mean, if you go ahead and look at this, it looks just like our run-up. Like parabolic run-up, blah, 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 long bear market, rounding bottom, the whole deal, the whole 9 yards. However, over here, what you have, and this is what I was telling them, is that, you know, we have to decide whether in one of two zones. You know, are we in this zone right here where we wick up above the 200 EMA and everything looks great? We look like we're having a death cross. We actually fake out a death cross, hard dump, and end the bear market on that note, then come over here and form the actual death cross before we round towards the upside. So the real question is, are we in this zone or are we in this zone? Are we in the real golden cross zone, or are we in this initial breakout zone that looks like the market reversal, actually turns into a fake out, comes back down, and then we have the real deal following this bull trap? And so this was my, this is my original theory, is that we actually are in this bull trap zone, then come back down and then see like the real deal. However, it's very possible that we are in this zone. No one knows the future like set in stone, so it's very possible that we are in this one. So the real question is this going to be a fake out like we saw in the last bear market and then the real one? Or is this just going to go straight into the real one? Because we technically had a fake out during the bear market already. I ignored NVT signal flashing red when the market was at 6K. Not going to do that again. It has called every top and bottom 100%. Not something to ignore. What is NVT? What do you mean by NVT, Hassam? Tintin Crypto, what's up? Welcome. So anyway, so this is what I was talking about, the golden cross on Bitcoin. Again, the last time that this happened was in October of 2015. You saw, and on the previous bear market, you did see the fake out. So you had the fake out, and then you had the real thing following it. And then ever since the golden cross, again, it started in 2015. It lasted almost 2.5 years. You can see all the way over here. Ever since it golden crossed, I mean, crypto just went up and up and up and up and up and up and up, and it just kept going up. Like, I can just keep scrolling. Like, literally. You do not, I've said this, you do not want to be on the wrong end of a golden cross. Because when it happens and you get stuck on the wrong end of something like that, it really sucks. It really sucks. And so I'm being very careful with my trades in this zone for that reason. Not again. So that's basically where my mind's at right now. What was the time frame of the fake out on the last golden cross? That was the 1-day chart. So so that was the 1 day. If you're looking at, or what I was just showing you is the daily time frame, because I believe that to be the most influential for golden crosses and death crosses. Tintin, what's up? Oh yeah, give me that thumbs up. What's up, my dude? If you guys haven't already, hit that like button. Helps out the channel a lot. I'd love to answer. If you guys have any questions or chart requests, or you guys want me to take a look at a coin, drop that in the comment section right in the chat box. I'd love to be able to answer that question. Sam, I agree, but if we can stay, but it can stay red for so long. Yeah, it can. Hassam said the network value of transaction ratio. I don't think I've ever looked at that. I'm gonna be honest. Hassam, if you can like send me a link or something like that, I'd love to be able to look into it because it sounds really interesting. Barry said, That is the same chart we have been following all year compared to 2014, and the 2015 Golden Cross is just about where we are here now. Yeah, so that's the thing, is like the two are side by side though. So I'm gonna stand up real fast. So the two are golden, the two are side by side though. So if you're looking at the previous one, if we go back here. Oops. Also, I want to show you guys what the longs and the shorts look like right now, because they're very, very strange. So, what I was saying, Barry, I don't know what just happened over here. All right. What I was saying, Barry, is that basically, how do we know that we're not in this accumulation zone, this fake out zone, the bull trap zone that I was mentioning in today's video? How do we know that we're not in this zone? Because, you know, obviously, you know, it kind of looks like we are. Again, the parabolic move up, everyone's, you know, all hopes are high. We're above the 200 EMA for the first time, and however, and this is the 2014 chart, pushing 2015. And then the fake out happens, this thing dumps, and everyone's like, oh, well, I thought it was the real deal. Screw crypto. I gave it one last chance. That was the rally. I thought it was going to break the market. And then it actually corrects itself. So it stomps everyone out in this final attempt where everyone's highs are all hoped. We're forming new highs for the first time. Again, over here in 2014, a higher high for the first time in the entirety of the bear market. And then it dumps again. And then everyone who was like, all the moon boys actually get stomped out. And then people are like, crypto's a scam. It sucks, you know. I gave it one more chance. It formed a higher high. The market never reversed. It's going to $0. Send it back to the Stone Age. You know, burn the thing. And then that's when it actually reverses. Because this was like the final stomp out for so many people. If you guys don't know my history, I've been a part of Bitcoin since 2011. So I've seen my fair share of market cycles. But if it is actually a golden cross, that was the thing that led to the next bull market. Alex said, I followed a few experts, smart, experienced traders earlier today when Bitcoin was around $5,000. All three of them were saying that it was going to drop, and it went up. How did that happen? So, Alex, this is something I've been talking to a lot of people about. Also, when would you expect the golden cross to happen if we continue in the uptrend more or less the same speed? That's actually a really good question, Alex. I'm glad you asked that. That was actually a really, really good question. So if this is the golden cross, and if this is going to happen, and we're at the relatively relatively at the same speed. I cannot talk tonight. If we're relatively at the same speed, I would imagine that if this guy keeps going someone like this, let's just kind of draw it out like this, and this guy nonetheless kind of goes more so sideways. I would give it a couple of weeks. So my guess would be in May. My guess would be in May sometime. I need to get some water, excuse me. So if this were to happen, I believe that it would happen probably sometime around May. Obviously, the more volatile the price moves, the faster it would happen. But if it's going at the same pace it is right now, I would say probably sometime next month. So we're about halfway through April right now. To answer your first question, Alex, about the experts and all that, and saying, you know, how could they be wrong? If they really are true and experienced experts, which I'm assuming they are, it sounds like, you know, you respect them, then it might not necessarily be on them, dude, because this is a really, really hard zone to be trading. I know a lot of experts who are saying the same thing. I have a lot of, you know, mentors. I'm not trading this zone because for that exact reason. You can be an expert and you can really know your stuff, but you can get really screwed up in a zone like this. This is a very, very hard zone to be trading cryptocurrency, and that's what we spent the first portion of this video actually talking about, is talking about how it was, you know, how there were no easy trades. Me and Sean, I don't know if he's in here, or me and Soy Sauce from the Discord, we were talking about this earlier and how there hasn't been an easy trade in a long time in cryptocurrency. And what I used as an analogy of that was the 4-hour RSI, and all of these things where you guys see that are marked, these are all very, very clear, easy trades. You know, higher lows on your RSI, lower highs, you know, just easy free longs, free shorts, in my opinion. Things that have almost never, you know, I say almost because nothing's for sure, but things that have almost never failed me. Like all these things that I have marked were all free, very, I say free, not literally free, but like they were all extremely easy trades. But we haven't had one like this in a long time. Like this one wasn't one, I just kind of marked that. So the last one that we really had was probably around March. You know, like March, towards the end of March. So it's been almost a month since there was like an actual easy trade on Bitcoin. So it's not to say that they don't know what they're doing, but this is just an extremely hard zone to be trading. And in fact, what I told my Patreons is that I'm not trading this zone. There's no reason to be trading this zone. It's so hard. It's a, you know, it's a guessing game. It's a gamble. Why risk it, right? Just let the trades come to you. If it's too hard to trade and if it's too hard to know, just don't trade it. There's going to be a million other trades that can come right to your front door. Hassam said, true, but buying in when it's in the red is never a good idea. I went in at the red at 12K before us hitting 20K. You would have had better opportunities to buy later. Patience is critical. I could not agree with that more. Patience is so critical in cryptocurrency and in trading. You have to have patience as a trader. It's so vital. You let the trades come to you, and it just helps a million. It helps so much. Mike C says, Alex, no one knows. Tone says we're going down to 1300. I surely doubt that we will go on that low with all that's going on in the crypto space. So that's again Mike C. So that's another topic that we were talking about earlier, and that can cryptocurrency actually go down that low? And I said, you know, personally, I don't think it can. I mean, it technically can, but I don't think that it will. What reason is there for Bitcoin to go to 1200 or 1300? I made a lot of videos on explaining why I don't think Bitcoin will ever go to 1200 or 1300. And the reason for that being is this. So if we look at consolidation zones of support and resistance over to our left here, and this is something I've done, you know, just through historical analysis so many times, there are a couple areas that catch my eye when it comes to consolidation areas of resistance and support. And so the first one's being, again, like right over in here, obviously, because you have this consolidation area. You also have, you know, bottoms right over here, and you have tops all in here. So this is going to definitely be an area of support, as we did end up seeing that this range ended up being the main support range for all of 2018. And so if we actually extend this, we can see that very clearly that this was actually the main support range. So going over down here, again, it makes sense that we actually bottomed out over here, because if I'm looking at another consolidation zone, it's going to be right in this zone between 3,100 and 5,000. So this would be my next range of support. And then sure enough, you go over here, this has been pretty much the exact level of support that we've been in this whole range. So that if I'm looking even lower, and if I can just keep using this theory of historical analysis and consolidation support, my next area of support would probably be somewhere down around here. Around, you know, 2,100, you know, probably between 2,000 and 3,000. But if it breaks this, why in the world... Or I guess, okay, so no, actually, no, that's 1,200. I'm sorry, I was reading this wrong. But, so if we were going to break this... If we're going to break this and this, like, look at how much significantly larger these guys are. Excuse me. These guys are. Why, like, I kind of understand why, but are we going to stop here, or are we going to go to $1,000? That's the main question that I have. It's very possible, because yes, this does look like it's actually kind of a flat top. Obviously, this is going to be support. It's not like it's not support, right? It definitely is support. But if we get this low, I kind of just think that we're just going to touch $1,000 at that point. I don't know how strong this is going to be. You know, you'd have to check the order book, but the order book's ever changing. So if we broke through this and everything above this, you know, is this guy right here going to be enough to stop the entirety of the bear market? Is this going to be able to hold us up? And my answer is I don't think so. It's possible. I just don't think it's likely. So Now, anywhere in this range, right? But this range goes, you know, around the $1,000. I think $1,000 is more likely for us to bounce. Just because it's such a psychological support at this point, more so than anything else. So it's not to say, I totally understand why they're saying those numbers. I just don't know how much I agree. Because I think there's a lot of other support that we have to burn through before we even get to that range. And, you know, we'll see. It definitely makes sense why they're saying that. But I don't know. I kind of disagree that we'll get that low. Either way, we are... Barry says, either way, we are at worst 4 months away, at worst. 4 months away if it's not the real Golden Cross. Hi, some tips on ADA, please. We'll take a look at ADA in just 1 second. Thanks, that helps. Awesome. Almost caught up on chat. Wow, that lines up with the 1 year before the halvening, which normally is a pump. Oh, shoot, that does. Why is that just now occurring to me? Isn't the Wait, when is this? Wait, the Bitcoin halving isn't until 2020. Isn't it? The Bitcoin halving isn't until 2020. May of 2020. Not May of 2019. Always do what others are doing. Sorry, always do what others are not. Yeah, I was going to say the majority is usually wrong in cryptocurrency and in trading. Because if the majority was right, then, you know, trading wouldn't work. One of them actually said that this is an anomaly. Who are you talking about? Oh. So yeah, Alex, about the whole like mentor and like trading, dude. This is it's something that I've been telling my Patreons in here, and I don't know how many Patreons I actually have in here right now, but I was telling my Patreons in the post today, like, man, like, one, this is a hard zone to trade. Yeah, the experts, yeah. So this is exactly what I was telling my Patreons today, is that this is a hard zone to trade. There's no reason to be trading this thing. There's no real kind of divergence, and this thing is, again, it's just a hard zone. I don't care how much of an expert you are. With my expertise in this field, I know enough to not be trading in this zone. Some people are very, very good at what they do. You know, I personally believe I'm very good at what I do. I've had a 100% win rate in cryptocurrency trading since February 27th. I think February 27th was like my last loss. And the reason why I'm not trading in here is not because like, oh, like my 100% win rate. It's just because I've had enough experience to know that this is a no trade zone for me. Some people like to take the risk. Some people are risk takers and they like easing more on the side of gambling. I'm not. And so with this playing out over here, we did touch resistance again. And it's not to say that they don't know what they're doing, but I think it's like they recognize. I think it's smart because they recognize that things are just like what they're kind of like in this state of like what in the world's happening here. That's an anomaly. It totally makes sense, and I agree with them. But I mean, it's just a hard zone. So don't be too hard on them because it's a hard zone to trade right here. Like personally, I don't think there's any reason to be even placing trades right now. Yep, the halvening is May 2020, but it pumps a year before the halvening. Oh, at least that's what I've always noticed. It's true for both Litecoin and BTC. Yeah. So I was going to say, if we do continue on this path for the time being, the golden cross on Bitcoin would be... Don't tell me when the halvening is, because I know it's in May, but I'll give you guys my exact date, and then we'll go check the date. So if this guy continues over here, this guy continues over here, so I have it around May 20th. So I would say that the golden cross would probably happen around May 20th. Let's go check the halving date. Oh god, I messed it up. So as you guys can see right here, oh wow. Okay, so the halving is on May 24th, 2020. So it aligns pretty close. I was 4 days off, but yeah. I mean, that definitely lines up. I would say give or take 4 days is pretty, that's pretty close. So my prediction was May 20th. The halving is on the 24th. That's pretty close. So if it were to pump, I guess it really would make sense. It really would. Oh man. I really wanted to get some nice shorts in here too. I'm too scared with the golden cross, dude. I showed you guys earlier. I do not want to be on the wrong side of that golden cross. Take some heavy losses if that thing goes off. We'll see. If there's like double bearish divergence on the RSI or something, I might take a trade. But other than that, I don't know. I think I'm going to make a video on this tomorrow. I'm going to make a bullish video. Yo, Bobby Crypto, where you at? Are you in here? Oh, what's up, Bobby? Me and Bobby were having a nice chat about what the title of my next bearish video should be today. I think, Bobby, you're going to really like tomorrow's video because tomorrow's video is going to be a really, really bullish video. Man. Right now we're at 5,232 US dollars on Coinbase. It should go to at least to test 5,400, right? Let's move this back to the 4. I do all my charting on the 4 hour pretty much, so I gotta move this back. 5,400. I mean, I guess why? Why 5,400 is what I'm like questioning. If it's gonna go back up, I would imagine that it pushes the top of this resistance around 5,700. So I don't know why. I don't think 5,400. I don't like know why it would stop right here. There's really nothing over here. You're kind of near the heart line, I guess. So that would make sense. But maybe like a wick through the heart line to touch 5,400. But if it doesn't get rejected by the heart line, I think you're heading to 5,700. You're forming a new high on the bear flag and then ultimately coming back down. You know, if this golden cross doesn't happen. That's my personal opinion. No, that's what I'm kind of betting on. I don't know. I don't think it would stop here. I wouldn't place a short on it. That's for sure. End of April for the golden cross. All right, let's do this. Everyone in chat, place your predictions. All right. I should do a giveaway for this. I should do a giveaway. I should try to team up with someone and do a giveaway. Everyone, I might actually do that. So everyone, for right now, place your predictions on when the golden cross is going to happen in chat, and we'll see. Closest one. I'll do an actual poll on this on YouTube later, but for now, just place your things in here. I want to see what all you guys think. Bobby says end of April for the golden cross. Trust the charts and the history of them. Again, in 2014-15 is what we were following. Really don't think much lower than 4,600. Yeah, so I kind of agree with you, Barry. Well, okay, I think it's possible to go lower than 4,600, but I think for the most part, I think I do think the worst of the bear market's over, or early May. All right. If you want any alts, just buy and hold. How much lower can they go? Don't say that. You're gonna jinx it. That's what people said about XRP at like $1. Yes, sir. AD says 0. 0 is the lowest and infinity is the highest. Wait, what are we talking about? I don't know what that means. I'm also looking at 5,400 again. 5,400 was previous rejection. Oh shoot, what am I missing? 5,400. Was previous rejection? I don't see the previous rejection. I have like 5350. I guess you have up here 5425. But why would you not just measure the top at that point? Previous rejection was 54. It was pretty much 5500. Oh, it was the 618 from the 6K drop. Oh, okay. Thank you for that, Hassam. I don't have my fibs up right now. I honestly, I haven't used fibs in like a month almost. It's kind of surprising. I used to use them all the time. I don't know why I haven't pulled them up recently. So that, yeah, that makes sense. The 618 is the golden fib. It's very important. May 4th, May 24th, May 15th, October. All right. It will at least be 2 a.m. Eastern time. Know which day? Probably the 8th. So Miguel's placing. I like it, Miguel. Miguel says 2 a.m. Eastern time, May 8th. That's specific. If it happens, dude, I'll send you some Bitcoin if it happens on that date, on like that time. May 26th. I'm going May 20th. I think we had another May 20th, right? No, we don't. Look at all these bets. The alts. Yep. Yeah. So it's kind of a shame we're actually seeing rejection from the top of this rising wedge over here on Bitcoin. But yeah, I mean, this is one of the things, dude. It's one of the things that like you're just gonna have to watch closely. It's one thing that I watch closely because it's my job. But hey guys, if you guys are in the stream right now, hit the like button if you guys are in here. Helps out the channel a lot. Helps get the video to more people. And if you guys want to join the Discord, it's completely free, no strings attached or anything. You guys can literally join the Discord for free. There's a link in the description below. I'll actually post it in chat for you guys right now. But if you guys want to join, it's basically where like my community resides. And we have chat rooms for everything. We have chat rooms for like swing trading and BitMEX trading and leverage trading and just general chat and for any questions that you might have. There's a lot of us in there, you know, myself and a lot of other traders in the community that all take part of it. And we all kind of talk in there, chat about it, talk about what we believe is happening in the market. So it's really cool. So it's completely free. There's the link to that. And if you guys want to take that a step further, let me go ahead and get you guys this. If you guys want to go ahead and take that a step further, I do have a Patreon where I keep everyone updated with really my entire insight on the market. It's really cool because I tell people exactly, you know, I give Bitcoin updates probably at least every other day. Really when anything significant's happening, you know, sometimes that's every day when something significant's happening. Sometimes that's every other day. It really kind of depends on, again, what the market's doing. But I give Bitcoin updates there on what I think Bitcoin's doing, where I believe it's going to go. I put my targets, you know, I literally give you guys everything that I have on my chart. So I give you guys my targets towards the upsides, my targets towards the downsides, where I see support and resistance and formations, whether I'm bullish or bearish. I kind of give my forecast, I don't know what the word would be. It's kind of cool because you guys literally just get my entire insight on the market. You guys even get where I trade. So I literally tell you guys as a Patreon, you know, I'm entering into a short here. And then I explain why I'm entering into a short there. And then I really work as your mentor and answer any questions and critique your charts. It's pretty cool. That's the link to it. It's a pretty cool thing. So both the Discord and the Patreon, again, I understand the Patreon isn't for everyone. Some people, you know, struggle financially, whatever that may be. The Discord's really cool too. The Patreon's really a step further than that because you get my entire like insight on the market. So it's a pretty cool idea. But if you guys want to join either of those, again, the Discord is free. The Patreon is paid for. They're both great places to be. So if you guys are interested in either of those, you know, do it. Let me make sure. Sorry, I'm reading through my second chat right now. Perfect. All right. What do I have over here? I'm getting a lot of messages. I don't even know what this is. All right. Anyway, good to go. Miguel says, "I'll invest in Patreon." I'd love to have you. I'd love to have you, Miguel. Good idea, Miguel. Hey, if you guys are a Patreon and you guys are in chat right now, go go ahead and just like give a thumbs up, you know, give your free thoughts on it. Don't lie, just literally just be honest. If you guys are a Patreon, give your thoughts on it. Say like your favorite thing or something like that. You know, what you like most about it. What has helped you the most, or, you know, really whatever comes to your mind. Be honest. Alfonso, I think you said just join Discord. Great to have you in the Discord, my dude. So let's go ahead and get back to the technical analysis over here, because I did tell someone I was going to look at Cardano like a half an hour ago, and we got really busy before then. So my thoughts on Cardano is, well, one, I hold Cardano, so let that be known. But originally, way back here, this is something I was talking about, and we talked about how there was this massive pennant just waiting to break out on Cardano. We had this drawn up. If you guys have been a part of the live streams, you guys know that this is probably something that we looked at almost every technical analysis that we did on live streams. I'm gonna go ahead and shut my door real fast. Excuse me. So this is something that we were looking at almost every single live stream, and this is one that was requested a lot, and I kept talking about how this was a giant pennant that was just waiting to break out towards the upside or the downside, but it did look like it was getting momentum squeezed towards the upside. Now with the breakout of this pennant, you can see over here, let's go ahead and measure this guy from top to bottom right here. So from top to bottom, you can see that this was obviously very big. It had been going on since November of 2018 all the way to March of 2019. That's, I believe, 6 months. So if we go when we place from the breakout towards the upside, the breakout, which isn't always this normal, the breakout was larger than the formation itself. So it was pretty big. It's not always something I expect to happen, but the breakout over here was absolutely phenomenal. And if you would have gotten any kind of a good entry over here as a long, let me go ahead and try to draw this out. I personally didn't take any trades in here. Oh wait, no, yes I did. I actually did take. I took 2 or 3 Cardano trades in here. Originally I funny enough, originally I shorted this. And then I was like, I need to get the hell out of this trade because I knew that this was coming, or I didn't know this was coming, but I was definitely speculating. So if you would have taken a long anywhere, even like at the very last touch of support in Cardano, and you would have longed this thing from top to bottom, this was 126% without leverage. Without leverage. That's insane. You would have doubled your money if you would have bought at the last layer of support. If you would have bought in at the second touch of support, well, this doesn't want to work. If you would have bought at the second touch of support, it would have been 162%. If you would have bought anywhere relatively close towards the bottom, let's go ahead and talk about this. If you would have bought anywhere relatively close towards the bottom, it would have been 214%. So Cardano, an absolute monster. Anyway, that's a little bit of historical analysis. I don't really know why I brought that up. But going over here, I think that what you're forming at right now, what appears to be at least some sort of either a falling wedge or possibly either a descending triangle of sorts. I think that it's a little bit hard because of how clunky that this is, but you can definitely see that there are the fine levels of overall support and resistance here. But you can also draw this up a little bit thinner, and you can start drawing like micro levels of support and resistance, like right there. And probably another one like right here. And so you can start drawing like micro levels, like support and resistance inside of the overbearing support and resistance. Sorry, I just joined chat. I just missed chat. His help in Patreon has really helped me charting. It's awesome to hear, Poker. Thank you for that. New here, I haven't heard many people talking about consensus, but me in regards to the pump. My profit loss has greatly improved as well. Hey, that's awesome to hear. There you go. Hear from Poker Throat. Glad to hear, Poker Throat. So in Chris Rock, in response to the consensus thing, I used to be a big advocate of consensus, but last year it was an absolute joke. Is this what just happened to Cardano? Why is it dumping? Something happening on Bitcoin? I'm seeing pullback. That's some hard pullback from top of a rising wedge resistance. Hard pullback. So let's actually talk about this for a second, because if I wasn't streaming here, this is something I was talking about on Patreon earlier. I said if this gets back up to resistance, I would short it. Obviously, I'm in the middle of streaming, so I don't have my account pulled up. You guys can see this is my other screen right now. I don't have any of my trading accounts pulled up. But if I wasn't streaming right now, I probably would have entered into a short up here. The reason for that being, and I might have gotten stopped out, but I would have entered into a short probably near the top of this resistance line. And the reason for that being is, one, it's at the top of resistance, and what it allows me to do is to keep a tight stop loss like right above it, like 1% above it or something like that. And let me go ahead and draw up a potential short position and show you guys why I really like that area. So what I'm able to do is draw up something like this and say this is the way that it would work. This thing's actually moving down fast. Is that this whole red zone would be my entry, anywhere relatively around the red line. So probably, I don't know what this is. This area is like 0.5%. My stop loss would be a 0.5% stop loss. 0.5%. My risk versus reward ratio is an 8. It's a 7.98, and the potential to gain off this is 4%. At 10x leverage, that's 40%. So the reason that I would want to take something up here is because with there being resistance right here, what I'm able to do is to set a stop loss right above resistance, and so that if I get stopped out, I only lose a couple percent, and the potential towards the downside is significantly greater than the potential towards the upside. Again, it's right at resistance. I'm able to set a stop loss, which is probably one of the biggest things for me entering into any kind of a trade, and I get the best area of value at resistance, so that if this does want to come back down, even if it just wants to come back down to support, I'm probably looking at 20%. And if it wants to fall out of this falling wedge, again, I'm looking at 40+% on 10x leverage. So that's like my thinking when I want to go into a trade like this, is where can I get the best area of value with the tightest stop loss? And that's always going to be at resistance or support. Someone mentioned October, November target holding a lot of supporters to believe that just in a few weeks or months. It was. All right. So back to Cardano here. I guess I just wanted to explain like the thought process of what my trades look like. So going back to Cardano over here on the 4-hour chart, I see potential double bearish. Well, yeah, probably the potential bearish divergence, but at the same time, it's sitting so neutral. So both on the MACD and the RSI right now, this thing looks very, very neutral. You can see that there's almost like no up or downside, and that your RSI is like almost completely neutral, really just bouncing around in this zone. So no divergence on your 4-hour RSI or MACD. I think that really the best thing to do for me if I was trading this right now is to just draw out, like literally just draw out the support and resistance lines and probably try to go from there. But there's really nothing to note too much. It does look like you're using the 50 EMA as resistance now. You were using it as support over here. Now you're using it as resistance because you saw this guy bouncing very, very well off of this. If you go and look, you can see that it bounced off right in here, bounced off here, bounced off here, bounced off again here, bounced off again here. Like you were using the 50 EMA as support a lot. And so when you get back up here and you start seeing this turn as resistance, not generally the best sign that you want to see. You kind of wanted to hold above this guy. But it's not the worst of situations. Maybe you come back down and try testing your 200 EMA or this support area, because the 200 EMA hasn't been tested in a while. And the last time it was tested, it was support. So time will tell for that. Go ahead and make sure we got this running. All right. So that is Cardano. I think on the 1-day time scale, if we want to look at this from a little bit of macro, it did clear out a lot of good resistance. And you can see that it's actually sitting on this previous candle body top as we talk. So this is actually the good thing for Cardano. If it can actually hold this range and really stay above this area, what you're looking at is potentially this, well, really this, I made that really bad, I'm sorry guys. Potentially this zone being free, like free market. And so I would imagine that it pushes through this fairly fast until it gets back up into probably the 12-cent range. Then you're going to start hitting resistance again because you have, you know, all of these bottoms. Oops. You have all of these bottoms over here being 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this downfall kind of being a fifth. So my thoughts on Cardano right now, you know, it's funny enough, this 200 EMA is climbing fast. Looking like a golden cross for Cardano as well. 88 at BTC. Let's look at how this looks. The daily chart, oh wow, it already had a golden cross on for the Bitcoin value. So the Satoshi pairing for Cardano already had a golden cross, and this thing's already started taking off. Interesting. Satoshi value's fallen pretty fast at the moment. Interesting. Let's go back to the Bitcoin. Yeah, I mean, Bitcoin's falling right now. Jeez. The Psalm said, assuming 3K was the bottom, then our correction is very similar to 2014 and 15. Can our current consolidation be half the time it took back then? Possible, but unlikely. Yeah, and so I kind of agree. So originally, way back, I said that the bear market would end, I think, by 2020. Maybe it ends before then. But I think my end of the year Bitcoin prediction was like $6,000. I'll have to go back and watch my video on it. But I'm pretty sure my end of the year Bitcoin prediction was $6,000. And who's the other really guy? The really good guy. Anyway, the guy who made the crazy Bitcoin downfall prediction. Forget his name. He's a TradingView guy. Anyway, his was 7,000. So his was a little bit above mine. He was a little bit more bullish. But yeah, Bitcoin's moving interestingly right now, that's for sure. Very interesting. So, I'm just trying to think what I think about this whole thing. What I would really like to see is a lower high on the RSI if it is going to dump. One of the things, I need to clarify this because something that people didn't understand about the RSI is that they were like, oh, well, it's up here, so I'll just short it. Like, you can't just automatically short based off the RSI because if you go back and you look at what happened during the last bull run, right? Like, look at this guy. I mean, yes, there was great, there were shorting opportunities. But if you go back, where is it? 2017, 2018? Where is it? What was it? Was it the 4-hour chart? I forget, actually. I think it was the 4-hour. Was it? I can't remember now. Oh, no, maybe it was the week. So basically on the week chart, it was, I mean, look at how long this thing was oversold. And yes, there was bearish divergence in here, like bearish divergence and bearish divergence here. But look at how long this guy was just sitting in this, oversold territory. Like, just because it's overbought, not oversold, just because it's overbought doesn't mean that it has to go back down to oversold. It doesn't mean that. Look at how long this guy rested up here, literally just bouncing from this exact same region over and over again. Just going overbought, coming back down, overbought, coming down, overbought, coming down, overbought, coming down, overbought, overbought, overbought. Then finally it broke through. But it took it a long time. So trying to think. I want to look at this on the monthly real fast. 80 says 8-year cycle, bull run coming very long. Oh, bull run coming very soon. I mean, it's very possible. Do you guys remember months ago when I pulled up the monthly MACD and I was like, you guys don't understand, for the first time in like 15 months, the MACD has a green candle. Remember this? Way back in January. I was talking about this. I said, do not take this lightly. You're having for the first month, it was in February, for the first time in like 15 months or in a year, you have a higher MACD candle confirmed in March. When this was happening in January, February, March, this is what I was talking about. And ever since then, we've been heading back upwards. Why? Because this is like the big elephant. Like, this is like trend setting. So with this guy rounding back up here and now having 1, 2, 3, 4 higher candles on your monthly MACD, it's showing that there are lower levels of negative momentum. There are just lower levels of bearers down here. They're fighting a losing battle. Eight-year market cycle or 4? I think it's a 4-year market cycle. I think that's what you meant. I talked about that forever ago, so it was a while. Whew. But for the most part, let's go. What's Bitcoin doing now? So yeah, Bitcoin's moving back up here. But I am being very hesitant with these trades. So if you guys, you know, I don't know how I was going to say that. But basically in this zone, because of all the crazy stuff I was talking about earlier with the Golden Cross and everything here, like, I'm being very hesitant with my trades. I would rather hold my Bitcoin in a downfall than like lose it and like getting in some parabolic move up. And that's the same reason why I wasn't going to short this resistance. Yes, it was resistance, but like, you don't want to get caught on the wrong end of something like this. Why risk it? You know, for the potential like 20% that you might make, you could easily just lose like 70% or get liquidated. There's some areas where it's just, you know, like, just take safer trades, right? It's to be expected. To be overbought in a bull market and oversold in a bear market, it gets tricky when you get into a transitional period, yeah. And that's exactly what we're in right now. We're in one of those tricky zones. Once the market gets in like a better pace, I guess, I think it'd be worth trading again. But like, for the time being, I'm not rushing into any trades. If I see a trade that catches my eye, I'll take it. But until then, you know, there's no reason. I was telling the Patreons today, there's I think the words let me go pull it up. I think like the words I said was there's absolutely no reason for me to be taking a trade right now. Like, there just isn't. Everything. Yeah, I said if it comes back, if it does move up towards resistance, I will short it. But there is absolutely no reason to risk anything here. Let the trades come to you. Like, yada yada. I can't give the whole Patreon post, but basically that's like word for word what I said in the Patreon. Is like, why? Like, there's absolutely no reason. Let the trades come to you. What happened to XRP longs? Weren't they a really high up? Let's go take a look. XRP BTC longs. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Holy frick. What happened here, dude? It's an all-time high. Why? I mean, I understand why they're high, but why are they this high? Huh. Doesn't make any sense. I mean, it kind of makes sense, but it doesn't make sense why it should be that high. XRP BTC is off a cliff. Holy moly. Dang, dude, that's what we warned about too. Is that when we were talking about this, it was so good. So the reason why, okay, so this is what happened with XRP BTC. So with XRP BTC, this was actually a potential trade I was going to take, and I actually was talking about this in Patreon as well. The problem with this being is that, yes, it did look like a very nice in the world. Yes, it did look like a very nice falling wedge over here. The problem being is that when Bitcoin broke out like $1,500, in the recent run up, that destroyed the Satoshi value. Because if the Bitcoin value goes up too fast and the altcoins don't go up as fast or as much as Bitcoin, the Satoshi value will actually go opposite. Because that's the way the Bitcoin pairing works and Satoshi values work. And so that's what we were saying. As long as Bitcoin doesn't pump, this thing was actually set for a really nice breakout. However, right in this zone, Bitcoin pumped like absolute like craziness, like right straight to the moon. You guys know it. You guys have seen it. And because Bitcoin pumped so hard, the Satoshi value was forced to move inadvertently away. And when this happened again, it was super, super tragic. I don't think any of me or any of my Patreons were in here and a trade over here, but hopefully anyone that was had a stop loss like right underneath. But the problem with this is that we were saying, if this does happen, it would be a really shameful for XRP because this would be falling off a cliff. Really, that's what it would be doing, unfortunately. And that's exactly what's been happening over here. So even though the US dollar price has been going up, recently it's fallen down a lot. But like even now, it's just a shame because it fell out of this very, very bullish formation, fell downwards out of it because of the whole Bitcoin incident, and now it's just kind of free falling and doesn't look too hot. It's crazy though that longs are at an all-time high here. And I guess it kind of makes sense because you have support right here. Oops. You have support right here, and right here, and right here, and right here. Like you can see all these areas. Previous, like look at this. Previous top, previous bottom right here. Previous, what was that? Previous top, previous bottom. So I don't know. Let's take a look at this a little bit further. What happened to? Yeah, all-time high. I kind of see. Actually. I'll tell you what, if this sets a higher low here, It's kind of what I'm thinking. If it sets a higher low here, that might be my green light. Double bullish on MACD. It's kind of hard to draw. You actually have a falling wedge. Does this look like on the hourly, 2 hour? Man, that looks really bullish. The only thing that makes me nervous about that is how high the XRP longs are. What are the shorts? The only thing that would make me not, I guess, want to long here is the fact that how high these longs are. Holy crap. Like, that's how you get wrecked. It's strange, almost. Another strange thing right now is that the Bitcoin shorts and longs are moving in the same direction. That shouldn't happen. The Bitcoin shorts and longs are moving in the same direction. If you see it moving downwards right now, if you go over to longs, they're doing the exact same thing. So the real question, this is what I don't know who I was talking to about this earlier, but why are the longs and the shorts moving the exact same direction? They shouldn't be. It's just peculiar, more so than anything else. Like, it gets me very suspicious. Another reason I don't want to be trading right now, like something's happening. And I don't know. I don't want to be caught in it. That XRP chart, though. XRP USD. Yeah, man. It's hard. But, alright, I'm going to go back to Bitcoin here, and then I think I'm going to wrap this thing up. If you guys haven't already, hit that like button. Helps out the channel a lot. See what's happening on Bitcoin. Moving down. Rejection from the top of the rising wedge. Not a good sign. We still have plenty of time to contradict it. But, as soon as I say that, we start moving. Move that over there. So yeah, again, so still plenty of time to contradict it, but not generally a good sign. There's no information anywhere on our RSI or MACD. So time will tell. $5,215. AD said a trap. Yeah, it could be a trap. Yeah, I mean, it very well could be, man. I think overall, this is a bull trap. I was getting some really big hate comments about it today. But usually whenever I get the worst hate comments is when I make the most money. Because the most people get wrecked. Unfortunately, that's how it has to be. You know, people have to lose money in order for the winners to make money, because that's how trading works. People are longing, and if you're shorting and they lose, you basically take their money. But I'm not in any positions here, so it doesn't really matter to me. If it gets higher up, I might consider a short. If it gets closer to 5,700, that's something I was telling the Patreons today, is I'll probably focus on a short higher up, but I'm not going to gamble a short in this range. It's just, I mean, maybe if we get, I don't know, if we get back up towards resistance, maybe with a super tight stop loss, but in this area, no way. Some nice buyback pressure though. Price doesn't looks like it wants to go down yet. Short BTC to $0. You have 100x places 100x short from the top. Ends up getting like 100,000 Bitcoin off of it. Turns out at the end it's worth 0 cents, and so you can't sell it anything. That's the thing, is like how like, I don't know what the word, I don't know how to explain this. How worth it would be, at what point would it no longer be worth it to short? Because if you get a short in from now and say it goes all the way down to like $100, you can still sell like all, you would have gained a ton of money, or a ton of Bitcoin, but would it be worth it to have just held what you had at like 5,000 per Bitcoin? Or would it have been worth it for you to get the 5,000%, but Bitcoin only be worth $100 a piece? So at what point is the short no longer worth it, and for you to have sold? Something I've been thinking about lately. Just like randomly. It's what I do for fun. But I am getting a little bit tired, so I'm going to go ahead and pull this up. If you guys have been a part of any of the live streams, you guys know I have done an hour and 40 minutes of technical analysis and answering your guys' questions. So this is my 2 minutes where I show my Patreon. I know I showed it a little bit earlier. I'm sorry, but it's my channel, my rules. So yeah, no, if you guys are a part of the channel or know anything about this, this is my Patreon. This is the way that I support myself as a content creator, because YouTube pays me like, you know, absolute minimal in AdSense. You know, it's like 40, 50 bucks a month, maybe that. And so what I have is the Patreon to kind of make my time for creating these videos, you know, worthwhile, and really the reason that I do this stuff. So if you guys want to go ahead, there's some really cool perks to being a Patreon. The tier 1 supporter includes, you know, you getting access to my Bitcoin updates, explaining where I believe Bitcoin's going and why, access to when I enter and exit trades, teaching of technical analysis, critiquing your charts on cryptocurrency, and giving constructive criticism and feedback. I give my personal tips. You guys can get my complete insight on the current and future market movements. And also you guys get bonus access to me for questions that you might have. Really get me as a mentor of sorts, because again, I've been in cryptocurrency since late 2011, and I have been trading now. Probably I've been trading, I don't want to say like full time, but kind of for about a year and a half now. And so because of my trading, you know, I've had 100% win rate since February of this month. I'm up 400% this year, 5 months in. And so I do think I am qualified to at least help and educate people for that reason. If you guys want to be a tier 2 supporter, it's $2 a month. It's nice, simple, cheap. You guys basically get to create video topics for me to make every 2 weeks. And it's really cool. And then you guys create the topics and then vote on them. And then whatever one gets the most votes actually gets put up on the channel. So it's pretty cool. So that's the Patreon. If you guys want a link to that is in the description down below. I'll also post it in chat right now. So if you guys are interested in that, go ahead and check it out. Maybe it's for you, maybe it's not for you. Click the link, see if you like it. If you do, you know, check it out. But if you don't like it, I totally understand. Thank you guys so much for being a part of tonight's live stream. It was an honor being able to be with all you guys. Thank you for everyone that was able to be a part of this. Whether you guys are a part of the Discord or the Patreon or whatever you guys are a part of, I appreciate all of you guys just for being here and following the channel. What did I miss? Nice handle. 1000x. Thank you. It was very good. Oh, hey, Vasha. What's up? Vasha's been a part of the channel for a long time. What's up, Vasha? Thank you so much. Always great to have you in here. Thanks, but oops. Marcus says thanks, but next time more bullish, please. Yo, Marcus, dude, dude, we had a whole segment, man, about how bullish I was because of the Golden Cross. Yeah, hey, Marcus, you'll really like tomorrow's video. I'll tell you that. Tomorrow's video is definitely a bullish video. So, me and Bobby were talking about how he hates my bearish titles. Ask the question. Ask that question to the people who got liquidated at 4.2K. Jeez. Right. Yeah, I'm very glad I didn't take a trade there. He says, lol, great stream. Thank you so much, my dude. Shorters never give up. Good night. Yeah, I mean, as long as it's a bear market, I'll short more than I long. Once it's a bull market, I'll probably just, like, long everything, dude. You don't understand, Marcus. I'm really excited. Link's not working. Oh, you're right. Huh. I'll have to fix that. Thank you for... Hold on. Let's fix that now. That's so weird. Oh, I know why. I think because because I changed my domain name. I'm sorry, guys. Saying error. There it is. I'm gonna go ahead and fix that right now. Shorters never give up. Good night. Thank you for all the insight. Absolutely, Miguel. Great to have you in here. Thank you so much for coming by. Yeah, Marcus, you're going to like tomorrow's video. I'll tell you that. It's a big bullish one. I need a good title for tomorrow's video. Like a super clickbait title. Like something that's going to get all the Moon Boys to click on it. It's saying error. There we go. Should be fixed. What do you guys think? I always try to make... I try to make my videos not so clickbait so that when you click on it, you're like, what? Why was that even the thumbnail? Or why was that even the... You know. I try to make it at least relevant. But for the but you do kind of have to clickbait. It's the way that you survive on YouTube these days. I don't know. Tomorrow's video title. I mean, if I really just wanted to be a horrible person, I could be like, Bitcoin could be going to $10,000. Here's the evidence, or here's why. Something like that. I forget, I think about a year ago, I made a video titled, like, it was definitely the worst video I've ever made. The technical analysis was absolute garbage. I think I actually did it as an experiment. I think about a year ago I did a video where none of the technical analysis I said was like even remotely like intelligent. And I titled the video like biggest bull run in crypto history or something like that. I got like 100,000 views and everything I said in the video was complete nonsense. And then people were like, yeah, that makes sense. I agree. And the video got like 100,000 views. I didn't monetize the video. It was, you know, I didn't want to make any money off of it. And so, yeah, I think I remember that. It was unfortunate. Oh, Vacha says $35, 35 was sold out. Yeah, that was the early supporter. Let me check this out. Patreons. Become a Patreon. Yeah, so the $35 one and the $40 one, they're the same package. However, they offer the exact same thing. However, there are only 3 slots for the early supporters. That's why it's called the early supporter, is so that the first 3 people to become a Patreon were able to get it at the price of $35 because they were the first people to join. So that's basically me saying that they get a discount for being like some of the first people to join the Patreon. It was like an incentive. And so now that sold out pretty fast, but now that the tier 1 sold out, I just have like the regular support, or not the tier 1. The tier 1 early supporter sold out, so now I just have the regular tier 1. It's only $5 more a month. But it was, you know, a nice little incentive because I guess it does add up. Yeah, I know you were more first. Marcus gave all the rocket ships. Bitcoin moon projection. Bitcoin moon projection. Prediction, maybe? Projection. He is very accurate, young but very talented. Thank you for that. Someone called me... I had a really funny comment in today's video, or in one of the recent videos. Someone said something about me being like a diaper-wearing child, and they'll never listen to someone like that. And I was like, how do you even think about that? It was something like, this kid's barely out of his diapers, and he expects me to listen to his trading advice. And I was like... I actually started laughing. I thought it was pretty funny. And I was like, hey. I think my response was pretty savage. I was like... This diaper-wearing child is a better trader than you'll ever be. And then I told him to enjoy his desk job. I know. I was more first. Hey, be nice. Honestly, Vasha, you were. I wonder if I can. Honestly, you were my first supporter. You actually were my first supporter because you supported me last April and May. You were technically my first client ever. Yeah. Can I respect that. Hold on. Let me see what I can do. Let me see what I can do here. Settings. All right. Someone say this very big ego but loser. Yeah, I mean, people don't like the fact that I'm a young trader, and I understand. People have been doing it for 20 years, and they get really angry when I'm better than them at it at 21. Some people have been trading for as long as since I was born. And I hope that they're better than me. All right, Vasha, go ahead and try it again. There should now be... All right, go ahead and try to get the tier 1 early again, because you definitely were my first supporter from like spring of last year, and I respect that a lot, and I definitely appreciate it. So you get an early supporter role because you were the earliest of all the supporters, and then it was Poker Throat. He was another really early one. So if you go back, you should be able to find one. And I really appreciate the guys who have been around. I really appreciate, by the way, all of you guys. I don't know how many people are still in here. 19. I really do appreciate all the guys who go and comment on my videos and are active. Like, either if you comment on my videos, I appreciate that a lot and like them. Especially the comments. The comments are how my videos actually get like put out to different people. So the way that the YouTube system works now is that comments are the way that basically they tell by like what my comments are, and if I have comments, that's how they determine if they want to promote my video or not. So if I don't have any comments, like my video won't pop up on recommended or to other people. But if I do have comments, you know, likes matter a little bit, but not nearly as much as comments. So the people who are regularly commenting and liking, I can see, and I really appreciate that. Like I try to respond to all the people who regularly do. Like I know AD and Poker Throat, and I'll see Hassam, and there'll be a couple other people, and I really appreciate it. You should definitely look in NVT. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go into that right now. Hey Hassam, can you send me a link to that over Discord? I know you sent them on stream earlier, but can you send me the NVT stuff over Discord, and I'll take a look at it. Tidal wave coming. There are no more bull traps. Marcus is ready for this golden cross to happen. Yeah, I mean, as bearish as the video I made today was, I did not think at all about the golden cross. And if that comes, the bear flag means nothing. The golden cross is overpowering just about everything. It's a trend. It's literally a trend setter. It's a trend changer. I mean, look what happened when Bitcoin did it on the 4-hour. So over here, like, let's look at this. Look at it. Funny enough. Over here, fake out golden cross, hard rejection, came back, real golden cross, massive rally. Does that not look like the chart that we were looking at earlier on the daily? Man. So over here, basically, this is what happened. Over here, you had the real golden cross, and this is only on a 4-hour time frame. This isn't even the daily. It'll be, I feel like it'll be way more crazy if it's the daily. Golden cross on a 4-hour time frame. Look at this. So the real question is, what happens if it's on a daily time frame? Right? What happens if it's on like a daily time frame? Do you just moon? I think so, personally. But it's all going to be a matter of if it happens or not. But yeah, Hassam, yeah, thank you so much, my dude. Tidal wave coming. The rocket ship. Let the rocket ship. I'll throw a rocket ship onto tomorrow's video just for you, Marcus. Look at all the people who joined Discord tonight. Abs, Fonz, Crypto Rocket, or Rocks. Welcome, everyone. I think I'm going to do a giveaway of some sort, too. Because I've been wanting to do a giveaway for so long, but the only people who will sponsor me to do giveaways are people who are like have wallets. And I find that really suspicious because all it takes is like one I don't want anyone that's a part of my channel to get scammed. And all it takes is for like one company that I don't know about to like pre-hack or tamper with a wallet before they send it out, and then heaven forbid I give that to like one of my subscribers. It's like, congratulations, you won, you can put your cryptocurrency on this, and then they put their cryptocurrency on it, and then it's a tampered with device, and then they lose all their cryptocurrency, and they're like, what the heck, bro, I won this in a video and all my cryptocurrency's gone the next morning. Like that's why I don't do like wallet giveaways. It's too risky, and I wouldn't be able to like live with myself if someone lost all their crypto. So I would be heartbroken if that happened to me. I love my cryptos. And I can only imagine people like them as much as I do. Thank you, Brendan. I'm in. Welcome, Vasha. Let me go ahead and add you to... Let me check this ish. There we go. Where are you? I will add you to the Patreon room in Discord right now, Vasha. Need to find you first. Where are you? I can't find you in my Discord. Vasha, are you in my Discord? I thought you were. Oh yeah, you are. There you are. Why aren't you popping up? That's so weird. Alright. you now have access to the Patreon rooms. There you go. Appreciate it. Welcome. Did something pop up on stream when she subscribed? It's supposed to. I don't know if it did. Anyway, welcome. Thank you so much, Vasha, for being a Patreon supporter. Much appreciated. 26.04 CME futures expiration. Be careful with this golden cross. Yeah, so it's a hard thing. Giant bear flag or golden cross. Is it going to be a fake out or is it going to play out? I don't know, dude. I don't have any trades in for that reason. It's too risky. It's how you get liquidated one way or another. Or you make a lot of money if you get the right way. But I don't like to gamble, so it's not my deal. Says so happy. Welcome, Vasha. Glad to have you. Alright, guys. I'm going to go ahead and end this live stream right about now. I got to get some stuff done. It's about 10:06 p.m. here. I'm going to go get some stuff done. I'm going to probably just have my cryptocurrency chart on my other screen while I'm just fooling around, getting some work done. But hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you guys did, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications and the little bell. I hope you guys did enjoy. It was my honor being with you guys. Thank you so much, Vasha, especially for upgrading to a Patreon today. Thank you so much, Poker Throat. Thank you so much, Marcus, Camille, Hassan, AD, everyone else who was able to be a part. Miguel chatting tonight, Alfano, Luke, Chris, Bobby, Barry, everyone else was able to be a part of tonight. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I will see you guys in tomorrow's video, because tomorrow is definitely going to be... So essentially today we went over the bearish things. And tomorrow we're going to be going over the bullish side of things. And then maybe after tomorrow we'll probably compare the two. So it'll be cool. So today we did the bearish video about why Bitcoin was bearish. Tomorrow we'll do the video on why Bitcoin's actually very bullish. And then we'll do a video comparing which one is greater, the bears or the bulls. And really what I guess my take on it as is after a couple of days. So I think it's going to be pretty cool. Good night. See you at 6K. We'll see. I don't know. I'm very conflicted. I'm very conflicted. So I think that's what I'm going to do. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap off the stream. If you guys have any super good clickbaity titles for thumbnails, send them on over, because I'm really bad at it. But I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. I got to figure out where I put my OBS so I can exit out of this. There we are. Alright guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and I am going to officially head out as I'm getting spammed. Good night, everyone.